Thank you, Mrs. Shumway and Mrs. Albert. At this time, it is my honor to present to you the valedictorians of the class of 1996. And they are Leah Slachter, Kimberly Miller, Emily Shumway, Preston Taylor, Christian Palmer, Sarah Underwood, Gaylin Relator, Jesse Palmer, Kanani Yang, Joel Kongaika, and Kali Kamaoha.
Everyone knows that in order to survive, one must eat 3 balanced meals a day, drink 8 glasses of water, exercise, and get plenty of rest. What a lot of people don't know is what it takes to really live. Somewhere, someone has planted the idea in our minds that life is a contest to see who can make the most money, score the most touchdowns, or get the most people to sign their yearbooks. Setting goals for ourselves is great, but we must be careful not to become obsessed or miss out on all the other wonderful things that life has to offer that has nothing to do with savings accounts, scoreboards, or popularity. We're not trying to say that we are experts in life because everyone knows that valedictorians have no lives. We are merely going to present to you a guideline to live life by. This is our interpretation of William Arthur Ward's poem entitled Life.
The adventure of life is to learn. Last year, we took a trip to Maui. We hiked in the Haleakala crater, down sliding sands and up the Halemau Trail. We swam and dove in the 7 sacred pools. There were 11 of us traveling in a single minivan along the entire Hana coast. As we drove, a friend, Israel Temple, chanted a narration of the entire trip. The trip was an adventure. Why? Because we were learning. Seeing and hearing the Nene through the mist was much more meaningful than just reading about them, although a book was necessary to know what kind of birds they were in the first place. We learned about getting along. If you know how long the road to Hana is, or if you've heard Israel Temple chant, you'll realize what a feat my resisting the temptation to throw him off a cliff was. Learning is fun and interesting. This can even include book learning. Kahuku has been an adventure for me and can be for everyone coming up if you make an effort to learn. There are so many things to do. From football to Model United Nations to band, there are a plethora of opportunities. For the senior class, the adventure continues. Don't be afraid of the unknown, learn about it. Do this, and your life will be an adventure. Thank you.
The purpose of life is to grow. Like plants, we all have been placed in different settings where each of us are striving to reach our highest potential. Our teachers, friends, and most importantly, our parents, we thank you all for providing us with just the right amount of sunlight, an abundance of water, and a very generous endowment of nutrients, without which we could not have made it this far. Thank you all for sharing your lights. To our graduating class, our finest stature has yet to be obtained. Our prime is ahead. Remember, bloom wherever you are planted and continue to avoid the weeds that often cause us to wilt and fall. Use the aloha spirit that you have experienced at Kahuku and here in Hawaii as a tool to reach your future goals. Remember that a single flower growing where nothing else is growing is a beautiful thing. May each of us let our brilliance from our ever-growing lives shine among others so that weeds will no longer exist among our ample field of flowers. Thank you.
The nature of life is to change. Change is a part of living and growing. Each time we experience a change, we broaden our comfort zone and take a step forward. Soon, when we were first born, we learned how to crawl. Soon that got boring, so we decided that walking would give us more freedom. At the age of 5, life changed from Play-Doh, coloring books, and naps to going to school for 6 hours a day. Elementary school was just the base of our education. At the end of the 6th grade, we took another step out of our comfort zone. As students gathered from all over the North Shore at Kahuku, we made new friends in a new environment. High school meant many changes, as well as opportunities to get involved with clubs, sports, and class activities. These changes helped unite us as a class and create strong friendships. But the biggest step towards change wasn't coming to high school. As we graduate from high school tonight, we face a life of independence and responsibility. Many of us will board the plane and continue our education abroad. A lifetime of small changes has helped teach us and prepare us for the future. Our next and greatest step will be taken tonight.
The challenge of life is to overcome. In my 3 years here at Kahuku High School, I've always played football, and each year I always managed to get injured. If it wasn't a sprained ankle or a knee, it was a broken collarbone or a partially separated AC joint. In any case, I think it's because my scrawny Holly body was not meant to be on the same playing field as the big football boys. Each time I get injured, I have a new obstacle to overcome. When I broke my collarbone, I couldn't do anything for about 6 weeks. I had to learn how to throw a football again, and I couldn't lift weights. At that point, I could have easily decided to give up and decide that it wasn't worth it to try to get back into shape and play football. But I knew if I did that, I couldn't feel good about myself because the challenge of life is to overcome. There are many students sitting behind me that have faced far more serious challenges in their lives, such as the loss of a parent, a family member, a close friend, the divorce of parents, or a serious illness. It takes courage and determination to overcome these challenges. The class of 1996 has that courage, and we will take it with us as we enter the next leg in our journey of life. We are ready to face the obstacles in our path that lie ahead, and we are confident that we can overcome them. Thank you.
The essence of life is to care. To care about yourself, your family, your community, and this society. The essence of life is being a concerned citizen with civic virtue and a heart that is anxious to serve. Caring is influencing others in a positive way, encouraging rather than discouraging. It's serving cafeteria duty with a smile rather than hiding on the stage from the lunch ladies. Civic virtue is smiling at your teachers because you love and appreciate them, not because you're failing and need a passing grade. I'm sure none of these valedictorians ever kissed up because they needed an A, right? That's why we're here. No. Okay. The essence of life. That's our secret. Okay. The essence of life is also to care and have a hand in alleviating the current problems we all face. Problems such as pollution, drugs, the national debt, the increase in crime rate, welfare and medical reform, and violence in the home and community. We, the class of 1996, realize that the state of the world will soon be determined by us. And although we are not responsible for the actions of past generations, we cannot escape full responsibility for the actions of this generation, our generation. Classmates, parents, families, and friends, the essence of life is not allowing the world to control you, but caring enough to gain control over every situation you encounter and using that situation to society's advantage. That is the essence of life.
The opportunity of life is to serve. As I look around the audience tonight, I see many of our teachers and our supervisors and our advisors and everything, and our lovely principal, all who have dedicated their lives to serving and to giving to us students. Providing us with an education, the single most important key to success in the future, has become their main preoccupation. With skills of motivation and just plain old skills, our teachers have helped us to reach our goals and to find our special light of success, all while making our years at Kahuku fun and momentously rewarding. As for you, Mrs. Albert, our dear principal, you were always there to find the good in each and every one of us and always stood as a wonderful role model. Style, dignity, and class make up your persona, one that is motivating, inspiring, and completely admirable. You were always there at every assembly and every gathering to make sure that we knew that our achievements were praised and that we were encouraged. And even if your words were not designated to us specifically, they all stirred a sense of pride in each and every one of us. Thank you so much. To you and to all our teachers and advisors who have helped us along the way, we'd like to thank you for helping us to find our special light, in hope that in the future we may help others around us to find their special light as well. Thanks.
The secret of life is to dare. My older brother, who is in Japan on a mission, wrote home and gave me some sound advice. He said that I should spend as much time as possible in the air. He was referring to cliff diving and gymnastics that I enjoy to do and saying that I should charge and have fun in pursuit of this along with my work. But I readily recognize that cliff diving isn't for everyone. Everyone should challenge themselves in his or her own way. This doesn't mean improving in something that you're already good at or doing something that seems difficult to everybody but you. What this means, it would be something that would be a dare for me would be to join a serious choir, whereas it would be daring for Emily, say, to do a backflip off the point. A big part of daring is doing something where there's the possibility of failure. My brother and I debated on a tournament in the mainland. At that tournament, there's a different style on the mainland and some of the competition was stiffer. But we didn't debate to win or lose, we debated to learn. And with this attitude that we had, it didn't matter because when you're doing something new and difficult, you're automatically learning. So I leave this challenge and pass on this advice to the graduating class of 1996. Spend some time in the air.
The spice of life is to befriend. I think that all female students at Kahuku know the trauma of walking through the Y building hallway, where the walls are lined with male bodies, staring, huge, and scary. In past years, my heart filled with terror when I walked through those masked and silent enemy lines. I was sure the boys were all looking at me, and every hushed whisper or muffled laugh was about how ugly I was or how stupid I seemed as I invaded their male territory. I soon learned to always take the long way around. But this year, I took the big risk. Call it courage or maturity or just laziness, but one day, as I approached the deadly hallway, I decided to walk right through. Surrounded by seemingly sullen and sneering faces, I felt this irresistible urge to do the unthinkable, to attack with a single phrase. I said, "Hi, guys." And suddenly the boys were conquered forever. All they could do was say hi back. Suddenly there was new spice in my life. All right. So many of us are afraid to take the risk of making new friends that we may feel aren't our type or are just too different from us or who scare us to death. Yes, it is a risk. But never underestimate how much power you have in the social scene. Your smile is unique and has the ability to uplift, comfort, and encourage others. Smiling is number one. Saying hi is even better. As we leave Kahuku, the best armor that we can take out into the world to fight our battles is that of kindness and unconditional love.
No matter who we are or what we may have, we can all share ourselves. Thank you.
The beauty of life is to give, and our lives become fuller with each gift. Working at Rainbow Balloons is such fun, in spite of the thorns and the late nights preparing orders, because nothing can compare to the joy surrounding giving and making others happy. Hawaii's beautiful flowers are frequently used as symbols of friendship and affection. At Kahuku, boutonnieres and bouquets are given at prom, and mountains of leis from family and friends will be given following this ceremony. Flowers have brought comfort and friends closer together during the loss of a loved one, and frequently Kahuku's classes have been visited by birthday balloons. But more than the lovely flowers and balloons, the beauty is in the giving. When something is shared, there is a glow in both the giver and the receiver, which grows and brightens the lives of each. Long after the flowers have wilted and the friends next to us are far away, the memories we have made here will be beautiful because we have given and received. Let us continue to cherish this beauty of giving.
The joy of life is to love. As I read this poem, I want to dedicate it to all the friendships we've made here at Kahuku that will last forever. Love. I love you not only for what you are, but for what I am when I am with you. I love you not only for what you have made of yourself, but for what you are making of me. I love you for the part of me that you bring out. I love you for putting your hand into my heaped up heart and passing over all the foolish, weak things that you can't help dimly seeing there, and for drawing out into the light all the beautiful belongings that no one else had looked quite far enough to find. I love you because you have done more than any creed could have done, to make me good, and more than any fate could have done to make me happy. You have done it without a touch, without a word, without a sign. You have done it by being yourself. Perhaps that is what being a friend means after all. Thank you.
So whether life is a bowl of cherries or a box of chocolates, we should eat it all up. On behalf of all 11 valedictorians of the class of 1996, thank you very much.